Hello and welcome to this little video where I'm going to be reading an excerpt from this fella, Casebook of Sam Spallucci, which was my first book at time recording this. 10 years ago. Gosh, time flies. And I'm actually going to be reading from The Case of the Vexed Vampire, where this vampire called Dave turns up on Sam's doorstep dressed as Spock from the original series of Star Trek. And Dave is just completely perplexed as why he's been turned. He's been left on his own and has turned to Sam for help because Sam is a paranormal investigator. But Sam is supposed to be going out that evening with Grace. And so what does he do? He lends Dave some of his clothes and takes him out with him, as you do. But before I carry on, please give me a quick like, give me a quick subscribe. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, here we go. This is where they're just waiting to go into the nightclub. Grace bounced back along North Road from the corner of Sugar House Alley. She was grinning and waving manically. "Come on, slow coaches," she shouted. I turned to Dave and shrugged. "I think she means us." "I guess she does," he agreed. We strolled leisurely up to the little redhead. "I guess you got us all in, then?" Her grin was even wider than normal. "Oh, yes, the Gracester strikes lucky. It was Barry on the door, and he's a pushover. Just fluttered my little green eyes at him and, put in my hands." She giggled. "Now come on, before he changes his mind." Dave and I followed her around the corner and down the alley towards the entrance. We could see Barry standing cross-armed on the door with a group of annoyed-looking punters lined up against a graffitied wall. Dave paused. "Curious," he commented. "What?" "You don't normally see such grammatically correct graffiti." The words were impressively large, covering most of the sizable grey wall. "Spud was here," it read. "I see what you mean," I agreed, watching Grace chatting to Barry out of the corner of my eye. If he had been any more closely related to Gorilla, he would have been sticking bananas up his nose and thumping his chest. "Was" has been spelt correctly and they've even used punctuation, I noted, indicating a full stop. "Are you two going in or what?" There was a crass-sounding voice, and it emanated from an even crasser-looking female. She was stood with her mates in a queue, who were all seemed desperate to catch hypothermia due to the lack of clothing. Her hair was dyed dark violet, and a midriff seemed to ooze over the top of an impossibly small skirt. "Bit old for her, ain't you? Bloody pedo, I bet." I was good. Very good. Normally I'd shout something back. I'm very bad at controlling my temper like that, but Grace was there and I didn't want to show her up after she got us into the nightclub. My mouth worked silently, trying to find something civil to say. I had to say something. My eyes fixed on her voluminous belly, and I frowned at the sight of her expansive, smooth skin. "Where's your belly button?" "What?" the harpy shrieked. "Damn perv." What was it with women calling me a perv today? "Get your filthy eyes off me." She tried to hitch her skirt up, but failed miserably due to the fact that there was no way she could bend the laws of physical matter. I shook my head and set off towards Grace. I realised that I was walking on my own. "Dave?" I called. "Coming?" The vampire snapped out of some sort of reverie. He had been staring intently at the fat woman as she had started to talk to her friends again. I walked over and touched him on the elbow. "Dave, you okay?" I asked. "Yeah, sure," he whispered, his throat cracking. "Just nothing. Let's go." I gently led him down the alley, away from the queue of irate punters and precisely grammatized graffiti. Hope you enjoyed that. You find details of all my books over at my website, aschambers.co.uk. The link is down below. Take care, keep looking for what lurks in the shadows, and I'll see you again soon.